I'm Stan Barber, and I'm one of the original founders of BitShares, and we've got also on here Michael Taggart, who has been with us back since the early days, and also back since the really early days is Paul Martello, who is on here. He's known as Once Upon a Time. So he's one of the founders and CEOs of Teradax. So he's one of the guys that originally funded the work that produced BEOS. The whole reason for Manna is to encourage people to put their stake and leave their stake in place, right? We want them to leave their BitShares in place, and we want them to leave all their BEOS in place. Well, there's been given away about 8 times as many BEOS as there are BitShares participating. And so if we want everybody to leave everything in place so they don't get a big dump or something, then we need somehow to make it such that to get full credit for Manna, you got to have 1 BitShare and 8 times as many BEOS to get credit.
If you guys have been accruing BEOS in your wallet, it's already pre-staked. You don't have to do anything to participate in Mannafall. If you removed your BEOS from the wallet and now you're transferring it back in, to take place in Mannafall, you have to restake it. So you have to actually go through the process of restaking it rather than just holding it in custody in your wallet.
Obviously, if you only put in 4 BEOS, you'll get half the Manna. Or if you cut back on your BitShares, you'll get fewer. But everybody who keeps everything in place the way it was throughout this past rainfall period, then you're going to get full Manna.
And new people who just hear about this or are introduced to it and want to stake BitShares, they're going to have to buy some BEOS in order to participate in the Manna. So that's going to help us with the price of BEOS. Really helpful if you could include a few links about how to get your BitShares from BEOS back to your BitShares wallet and a few other things.
If anything, it'll help with liquidity of BEOS on the market. For anything else, it'll propel a demand for it if people want to take place in the Mannafall, Skyfall, essentially, and then get the benefit of that. They'll have to go buy BEOS off the market. So people who don't want to participate are able to then go out there and sell, hopefully, into a market where people are buying.
Right. So the Mannafall's purpose, in addition to getting people to lock up their contents, the fact that anybody that owns those 2 things is going to get in on these other projects, I think will do very good.
I think this is a great way to teach people about the various projects that are working with us and working on building on BEOS right now. It's a great way to bring some engagement to those particular projects for people so they can kind of, again, not just educate themselves about it, but really understand them.
We need to lock up our BEOS and BitShares, but then when the Manna falls, are we able to trade those for some of these other projects, or how does that part work?
Manna is going to be self-contained inside the BEOS system, so you're not going to be able to go out and trade it for anything other than for the things that we offer it. So we're going to be issuing it, and the only place you can do it is to sell it back to our website to get some of the other tokens. And that's simply to keep it all self-contained inside the Utah environment, where we just got a great new law today passed by the state of Utah saying that there's no money transmission when you're dealing with blockchain tokens.
They essentially said that not every blockchain business, but a majority of those businesses are exempt from money transmission laws in the state. It does signal that they are already looking at all of this sort of stuff. It does signal that they're wanting to stay on the forefront of legislation on it, unlike a lot of other places and even maybe our federal government.
We have a satellite that we launched on a Falcon 9 rocket, and it is in a polar orbit that goes around, takes about 90 minutes to do 1 orbit. Every time it goes past our ground station in Alaska, it has 10 minutes of contact time, and then it passes out of range. So in that time, we have uplink information. It runs some computations and downlinks Manna to everybody's account. There's 3 times at least when we'll fly over on a north to south trajectory. And then of course the Earth turns 180 degrees, and there'll be 3 more times when we cross it on the backside. So 6 times a day at least, during which time we'll download some of these tokens. I think probably about $10,000 worth every day. So yeah, those will go out to everybody who's got their staking.
And how long will Manna be dropped?
888 days.
888 days.
Yep, that's a lucky Chinese number, and it's also 888 is the sign of Jesus Christ. So
Okay.
I'm going to use them both.
RUON, Sovereign Sky, Mission Space, BIQUITOUS, these are all projects I know that I've heard the names of before, obviously, and we've looked into some of them, but these are projects that have been already in process, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, they're all in the process of releasing tokens in different ways. I think you see RUON and Sovereign Sky are going to start out releasing tokens on an initial exchange offering, an IEO, whereas BIQUITOUS and Mission Space are going through a really nice package of Reg A and Reg D type offerings, which will be offerings that are approved by the SEC.
If you have a BEOS wallet, you've agreed to become a member of the BLCA and you paid the fee. The BLCA is acquiring the ownership rights of all the tokens that they're going to be essentially handing to BLCA association members.
You'll be holding a token that can be turned around and traded for the real token in about a year.
Investors.missionspace.one or investors.biquitous.io. And both of those have all of the investor materials, all of the legal disclaimers on there. The Manna can be redeemed directly to the BLCA from an association member, which is anybody who basically has that Manna, for these tokens. And then we'll issue them a proxy token on the BEOS network. And then when those token subscription time is up and they're released for actual movement, then the receiver of that token can redeem the proxy token for the actual security token.
You know, it bewilders me how much you guys have dealt with these different regulations and the different laws and I mean, you're really pushing it forward for everyone else in a lot of ways. I mean, it's tiring to even listen to, but great job, because I mean, that's a neat setup.
What really happens under the hood is the token that you're sending to somebody else goes back to Utah, transferred in escrow inside Utah, and returned to the person who you sent it to.
Wow.
So therefore, all transactions happen in Utah and are under Utah law, which doesn't have money transmission implications. So it's a thing of beauty.
Wow.
It really is.
It
It really is.
poetic.
Later this year, I bet a whole lot of other tokens are going to get taken down by the SEC because they didn't do any research. They just went ahead and did it. And the SEC is getting pretty antsy about going after these people, and they're doing it right now. We've got layers and layers of protection. If they try and say we did this wrong, well, we got another layer. You know, we've got at least 3 layers that I know of.
Well, what should we expect out of RUON, the social media app? Is it similar to anything we've seen before?
Well, I think it might have a little bit of similarity to something like you've seen with Steemit. It certainly is intending to reward people for doing contributions on the network. But it's every conceivable type of social media functionality all in one app.
What RUON's looking to do is create not just the ability for people to communicate and do a lot of stuff, but actually to have that economy as well. You know, Facebook's marketplace that they've rolled out over the last year has took off, and I mean, you see just insane amounts of activity and engagement in there. It shows that that's what people want. That's what they need. That's how they're communicating, and that's how they're actually selling crap nowadays. So you can send data feeds, you know, video, pictures. There's a marketplace on there, so you can actually buy items. I think that's part of where, you know, Steemit kind of dropped the ball, is that Steemit should have had a mobile app, as far as I'm concerned, and they should have had a marketplace in there to, as they're earning on Steemit, are able to then spend it back into that marketplace, spread it back around, redistribute it a little bit more, make the marketplace some fees.
I was hunting for employees for my other business, and I wound up posting a help wanted ad on Facebook, and received applications on
Mhm.
Facebook. I was like, where did this come from?
Wow.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the guy starts tomorrow.
Stan and I have literally been working on this mission space idea thing for a couple of years. Super excited to see it continuing down the path it is, because it is getting some attention. Essentially, you know, space telescopes, these telescopes are much better clarity, you know, up there without atmospheric distortion or anything like that. The idea is to allow anybody with an internet connection to be able to use these telescopes to explore the cosmos. The Hubble's, you know, pretty much on its way out. There's a few other competing telescopes up there, but nothing really that I feel is comparative. Half the time is divided up to industrial and commercial projects that are able to bid on the time on these telescopes real time. The other half is divided up to amateur astronomers and stuff like that. The rates are obviously a different rate. We charge more for industrial and commercial, less for amateur. And I'll say, you know, go look at the prospectus on that sucker, because you're looking at pretty much over $1 billion project. It's just interesting to see, you know, a proposal on a project, you know, to put stuff in space on that kind of a scale, and what it looks like from a projection standpoint. The value of that project from the standpoint of a enterprise value is just phenomenal. I think the 3D one, BIQUITOUS, is a really exciting one. I'm more heavily involved in that one from a hands-on standpoint. It's actually here in Idaho. My partner owns a shoe company, and he had started exploring in how to 3D print shoes for his company a few years ago at least, and started seeing how difficult it was to figure out the process, but also started figuring out and understanding the technology behind 3D printing and everything like that, and realized, like, wait a minute, this is way past shoes and stuff like that. This is like everything. And he's right, you know, close, they say 65 to 70%, and I think that's a conservative figure, of all products by 2025, 2027 will be 3D printed or created through an additive manufacturing processes. With BIQUITOUS, the idea is, you know, 3D printed projects, all the blueprints are on the blockchain. People can, from anywhere in the world, be able to grab these blueprints and then manufacture something. Another part of that is that people can build off of each other's blueprints. So it is a collaborative engineering type of system, right? That's all based on a blockchain, and you can tell everybody's IP, what they've contributed to that blueprint at any given time. And as people buy those blueprints, they're paid out for their contribution to that engineering.
Sovereign Sky is putting the infrastructure in space to allow us to communicate everywhere. And so,
yeah, it's Sovereign Sky's infrastructure and logistics. Yeah,
it'll wind up hosting the BEOS network by putting nodes up there.
Sovereign Sky is looking to, you know, give Wi-Fi or essentially internet type access to everybody in the world from these satellites that are up in the sky by creating these networks. Well, if that's the case, that would mean that, let's just say hypothetically, everybody in the world has access to the internet all of a sudden, right? Which again, and I want to point out that there is more people with cell phones with internet access in the world than there are people that have access to clean drinking water. The fact that that is like that, if you think that everybody out there now with these devices can access the internet, but not just the internet, they can access the unrestricted internet where they can pull down blueprints for anything that they need to produce from the sky, right? Or communicate with each other via RUON messaging, or sending video feeds, or, you know, stuff like that. Like, that's kind of where this goes.
I'll just say we just have 4 really great use cases that we've just talked about that all build on the BEOS network. And that's a great starting point. And I think from there we can have a lot more stuff as we go along. Anybody who's got an application that they've developed for EOS and would like to benefit from our jurisdictional agility features, which allow them to control where in the world a transaction takes place, might want to think about moving over onto the BEOS network where we can give you that capability.